Hi everybody, Mrs. T here. So today's book, we're going to do some more poetry today, but this book's a little bit different. So this is a book about endangered animals, and even though it's a book of poems, it has non-fiction information in. It's basically a non-fiction information book about endangered animals that just happens to be written as poetry. Pretty cool, right? One of the ways I know it's a non-fiction book is because there is this glossary at the back. And you remember what a glossary is? A glossary is like a teeny tiny dictionary that just includes the words you need to know to understand this book. So anytime you're reading a non-fiction book and you come across a word you maybe don't know, you can always go to the back and look for one of these, look for a glossary, and to see if there's a word there that you need to know. Like here I see the word habitat is mentioned, which is where an animal lives. What other words might be helpful? Plumage is bird feathers. Opposable. Opposable, if you have, humans have opposable thumbs, right? That means that our thumbs can touch the other finger. So these are all different words that will help us understand the poems in this book. So this book is called Who Will Roar If I Go? And it's written by Paige Yeager and it's illustrated by Carol Hill Quirk. So basically each poem in the book is about a different endangered animal. And the poem gives you a reason why the animals are endangered. So while I read each poem, I want to see if you can notice what is the reason why this particular animal is endangered. So I will pause after each poem, see if we can figure out why these animals are endangered. So here we go. Who will roar? So this poem just kind of introduces the whole book. We're a cuddly, cute, and incredible bunch of creatures who enjoy resting just after lunch. We wrestle and play just like you every day. But some of our friends have been taken away. Keen eyes, sharp teeth, long claws, and fascinating skin help us survive the trouble we're in. We need you to care and let us live free, or there will be no more wild animals to see. So these animals are endangered, which means they are in danger of becoming extinct. So first an animal becomes endangered, which means what? Means there's not many left, right? And then after it's endangered, it becomes extinct, which means they're all gone and can never come back. So can you think of an animal, a species that's extinct? So the dinosaurs are extinct, right? That's the most obvious one. But did you know that every year hundreds of new species go extinct? Pretty crazy, right? So if an animal is endangered, it means it's kind of like on the danger list and it might become extinct unless we try to help it. So this book is all about animals that, sometimes animals come off the endangered list if humans do enough to help them. So that's why it's really important to think about endangered animals. All right, should we just read the book? This one is about the lion, and every poem also has each animal's paw print. So remember, we're listening for why the animal is endangered. The king of the beasts, that's my claim to fame. I've got a big crown of hair that's called a mane. I'm swift and strong and sly, you see, and everyone's afraid of me. Recently, I've lost my home. There's no savannah on which to roam. I'm king of this land, don't you know? Who will roar if I go? So why is the lion endangered? Did we see a lion there? I've lost my home. There's no savannah on which to roam. So he's lost his habitat, right? That's a really big reason why a lot of animals become endangered, because of habitat loss. Oh, here we go. Here's the elephant. I sure am an enormous creature with ivory tusks, my most attractive feature. For these long tapered teeth that I hold dear, thousands of friends were lost last year. No one needs my tusks but me. Go make some in a factory. So there's the elephant. It tells us the elephant is from Africa and Asia. And there is the elephant's footprint. So why is the elephant endangered? Did we catch that in the poem? It's about the tusks, right? He's saying, just make what you need in a factory. Don't take it from me. Oh, how beautiful. The beautiful tiger is my name, and prowling for food is my game. No one's got a coat like mine, black, white, and orange divine. Everyone loves my stunning striped hide. Please leave me alone where I abide. Tiger from Asia. So what's a hide? H-I-D-E. What does that word mean? We could look in the, oh, it's not in there. It's not in the glossary. Well, if you didn't know that word, you'd have to look it up in the dictionary, a real dictionary instead. So a hide is the name for an animal's skin. So it seems like that's why the tiger is endangered, because people hunt it for the skin. Here we go. We all know this guy, right? The zebra. Like all zebras, my skin is black and white. These stunning lines camouflage me day and night. Your stripes are amazing, some hunters say, and then they take my friends away. Please leave us here where we multiply, and gaze at us next time you wander by. So there's the zebra from Africa. Can you see? He's got an interesting footprint. So it's not entirely clear why it's endangered here, but it seems like, have you ever heard of people who are trophy hunters, right? There are all different reasons why people hunt animals. But one reason is because they kind of like the trophy, right? They like to stuff the head or have the hide. And it seems like zebras would be, people think they have such interesting hides, right? So sometimes they hunt them just because they think they look cool. Oh, look, does this look like baby Ivan? Remember Ivan in the jungle? So it's a gorilla from Africa. That was where Ivan came from, remember? I swagger, I beat my chest, and hoot to entertain. I hide under trees during heavy jungle rain. My thumbs are opposable, and my arms are very strong. I use them to bushwhack through vines and move along. Some zoos want my baby for all to see, but I want her to stay right here with me. So gorillas have opposable thumbs. Who else has opposable thumbs? We do, right? And then look at the print of the gorillas. It looks much more like a human hand than the other animal prints, right? So gorillas are much closer to humans than any of the other animals in this book. And just like Ivan was stolen from a zoo, the reason given in this poem for gorillas being endangered is because they're still stolen for zoos. Here's the rhinoceros, also from Africa. Nobody in the bush looks quite like me. My snout was designed creatively. My smell and hearing are extra keen. I roll in the mud for my sunscreen. Leave me here in the grasslands to thrive. That will keep me happy and alive. There's the rhinoceros. There he is, and there's his footprint too. This is a beautiful bird. I hadn't heard of this bird before I read this book. This bird is called the quetzal, and it is from Central and South America. How beautiful is that bird? Resplendent quetzal really is my name. My 3-foot tail gives me avian fame. But I'm vanishing from the forest canopy as trees disappear all around me. Won't you leave our land alone so future fledglings have a home? So why is the quetzal endangered? It lives in trees, and what's happening to the trees? They're getting chopped down, right? It actually says it lives in the forest canopy. So if I wasn't sure what a canopy was, I could go to the glossary. Oh, this one is in the glossary. Good. So it says canopy is tree branches overhead. So when trees are really close together and the branches overhead, they create kind of a canopy above you. And that's where this bird lives. But if you chop down the trees, then the bird has nowhere to live. Here we go. This guy's called the giant salamander from China. I'm the world's largest salamander. In rocky lakes and streams I meander. Some of you see me as a hideous beast and put me on the menu for a great big feast. You can dine on many foods happily. Please enjoy them without harming me. So this is a salamander that's endangered because people like to eat it. Not me, but some people. And here's the blue Kana butterfly, which lives in North America. That's not the only butterfly that's endangered. Monarch butterflies are endangered too. With brilliant blue wings, my beauty is divine. I flutter my way through the lush lupine. Sadly, my terrain is fading fast. With all new cities, I may not last. Please save me a place where I can try to live in peace as a butterfly. So why is the butterfly endangered? Because of all the cities, right? So one thing you can do to help butterflies, you can learn about the kinds of flowers and plants that butterflies like, and then you can make sure to try and plant those in your backyard. That's a way you can help. Let me see, I'm going to skip a few to make sure we get to the end of the book in time. Here we have the panda from China. With patchy black eyes, I'm chubby and cute. I'm a lazy bear who chews bamboo shoots. Sleeping and munching forests away are the two main activities that fill my day. But with so little space left for me to graze, you'll find me living in the zoo these days. So pandas like to live in bamboo forests, but just like with some of the other animals, their habitat is getting destroyed, so they have nowhere to live. Okay, oh wow. Has anyone ever seen a snow leopard in a zoo? They are so beautiful. But they really shouldn't be in zoos, should they? Unless they needed rescuing. We really should leave them in the wild. But I can understand why people love to see them in the zoos, because how beautiful is that? Solitary, swift, and always on the go, I wear my spots from head to toe. With eyes that sparkle and teeth that shine, my status is threatened because I look so fine. Some wait in hiding, trying to capture me, instead of letting me run wild and free. There's this paw print. So just like the gorillas, the snow leopard is endangered because people try to capture it and keep it in captivity. And then here we go. This is just a poem that kind of wraps up the whole book. Some friends are missing. There are fewer home. We wander around feeling sad and alone. We love where we live and would prefer to stay, living in our home, not going away. Before we disappear from this earth in a blink, what can you do so that we will not go extinct? Try to make this world a better place by not taking us out of our space. You can help prevent this travesty so that we'll be wild animals for all to see. Wildlife is disappearing. What will you do if the only place we creatures live is in a zoo? So tell me, are you friend or foe? Will you roar before we go? The end. So what do you think that means? That was the animals speaking at the end, right? The endangered animals, and they were saying, will you roar before we go? They're talking to you, the reader, right? What do you think that means, will you roar? Think about that. And that's one of the questions I want you to think about this week. What does it mean to roar? Who will roar before I go? What is that title? The title kind of gives us the message of the book, right? Or the theme of the book. So think about that. All right, there we go. I hope you enjoyed learning a little about some endangered animals.